Hey guys, how you doing? Eric at SoCal Cigars here. So I was going to do a follow-up on my humidor situation. Kind of the goal of my channel was to have this be a collaborative effort, and that's exactly what this has turned out to be, so I'm really excited about that. By throwing out the last few videos that I've done and kind of throwing out the problems I'm having with my humidity, I've gotten a ton of feedback from you guys back, kind of all pointing to mostly the same direction of saying that I've got too many cigars in my humidor for the humidification to possibly keep up with that amount of cigars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to rearrange things. I'm going to split my collection out from my humidor into also a cooler door I'm going to set up. So I'll show you all of that when we go upstairs. So let's go ahead and go up there and get this thing started. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to start this process of emptying out my humidor. So again, like I just had stated downstairs, the plan is going to be to take these drawers that are clearly packed, way too packed. And I think step one, what I'm thinking I'm doing is basically making it so that I only have cigars in the front, and I'm going to leave all the backs open. So all these ones that I've got stacked in the back, I think that's what I'm going to remove. So really what this is going to be is a little bit of favoritism and popularity contest. I'm going to pretty much take cigars that I view highly and are more prized possessions to me, are going to stay in this humidor, and then I'm going to take cigars that are maybe less expensive, less quality, not my favorites, and those will end up going into the cooler door, so I can test this out. All right, so anyway, here we go. This is going to be step one. I'm not going to take you through the whole process, the entire time, but so step one is going to be to empty out all the drawers so I can start sorting cigars. Okay, as you can see, I have emptied the 5 drawers out of my humidor and the loose cigars that were behind my cigar oasis. So I figured while this is empty, this would be a good time for those of you who have not seen the inside of a winedor without all the drawers in it. This is what it is, all plastic. That's kind of a little bit of the issue you're dealing with, where a traditional humidor is pretty much all Spanish cedar, where the primarily the interior of this is all plastic. So you're not getting the advantage of having an entirely wood interior. But anyway, I figured I would just show you what this is while it's apart, because I know I've referred to that fan in the back there many times. And I'm going to turn on a flashlight real quick so I can show you that fan is actually all the time very slowly spinning, as you can see. Now if you put your hand in front of it, you don't feel much air, but it is always circulating some air. And then if you see there is some moisture down there, and there's like a little drain hole. So there is moisture in this unit for sure. But that's the unit empty. And then over here, I've got all of the drawers out. So here's the 5 drawers that were in there that, as you can see, are jam-packed. So we're going to see if this will rectify the problem, which by popular consensus, it sounds like this very well could be my issue. I guess maybe I didn't see the forest through the trees. And there's the little stack that was behind the cigar oasis on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this process of going through these, determining what's going to stay in this box and what's going to go into the cooler door I'm going to set up, and I'll show you that process as well. So again, I've been asked many times to do like a tour of my cigars and my humidor. I haven't done it. This really won't be a proper tour either, but maybe when I divide these up and put these away, I'll kind of show you some of the highlights, but I'll do a proper tour at some point. But at this point, my primary objective is to get this thing stable and working properly. And again, by popular consensus, it sounds like this could be my own fault, and I've basically just overloaded this thing to the point where it can't possibly keep up. So this will be awesome to see if this works, because then I know I just need to either reduce my inventory, keep them split between a humidor and a cooler door, or down the road I'd love to get a second refrigerated unit so that I can maybe have one for infused cigars and one for non-infused cigars, but that's down the road. So we'll see how this goes. But anyway, I'm gonna get started sorting, and I will bring you back when that is complete. Hang tight. Okay, here we are after a couple of hours of sorting. So we'll start with the 5 trays that are going to go back into the humidor. So as you can see, what I did, like I said, is I've put just cigars lined up and left the tops open for circulation purposes. And for these drawers, what it typically is 15 across and 3 deep. So that's kind of, you're looking at 45 cigars per tray. So what I did, how I arranged it was kind of, I don't know, like I said, I took some of my favorites, maybe more expensive cigars, to keep in the humidor. The rest are going to go into the coolidor, which I'm going to set up next. So this first tray, as you can see, is mostly like infused acid, things like that. This tray I did mostly, well, what I did is on this one is anything that wasn't wrapped. So these are mostly Cubans, like H-Upmans and Cohibas, things like that. That one, again, is kind of a mixture of infused and not so infused, mostly Drew Estate. This one over here, again, the last 2 are just kind of good ones that I really wanted to keep in here. Ones I've gotten from Missouri or from gifts from like my wife. She got me some really killer cigars. Here's, you know, again, these are some really good ones. There's like this Feral is awesome. I got a few from Denmark, Davidoff's, a lot of like, in here some Lost City, Opus X, some more from Denmark, you can't get any more. The Atabey, which is so far the most expensive cigar I've ever bought, and I have not smoked it yet. I'll get to it. Especially now, I'm going to need to start smoking more than I keep buying. And over here, what we have is the ones that now are going to have to go into the coolidor. So what I did over here is I took one of the tray, the last tray I have left, that 6th tray, and I loaded that one up, and then all these are going to have to kind of go loose. Luckily, I've got a bunch of trays that I'm going to use to put into the coolidor. And then I'm going to put that heartfelt beads into the whatever ends up being the top drawer in my humidor here. Okay, so here is the coolidor I'm going to make. Actually, the only kind of cooler I had big enough was this like camo one I've got, soft-sided, but I think it'll work. So it's too big for that drawer to fit in, but what it looks like I can do is I can line it with these shelves, which actually fit perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack cigars there, and then I'm going to use more shelves, and then I'm going to put in a thing of the heartfelt industry beads over here, and then I'm going to put in a round hygrometer, and the rest of those cigars are going to go in, and I think this is going to work. So the only thing I can't do, of course, is control the temperature, and right now in Southern California it is 93 degrees. Thus why I have the refrigerated unit that I have. So I'm just going to have to do the best I can. And like I said, I split off the cigars that, I mean, there's some really good ones in here, but overall they're maybe the ones I don't like as much, or some have just been given to me that aren't that great. Some I've bought, didn't like all that much. So it's not the end of the world if these aren't kept in perfect condition. But I'll do the best I can to keep these in really good condition, and I think this is going to work out good. So let me finish stacking this, and then I'll show you the finished product. So here is the finished coolidor for now, the temporary solution for the rest of my cigars. What I ended up doing, as you can see, is I just put the extra shelves I had. I put one shelf down, some cigars, another shelf, some cigars, another shelf, some cigars. And then, because I still needed a little bit, and to keep the flow open, I just leaned up this extra drawer I had, filled up the rest. And as you can see down there, I've got a hygrometer and I've got some heartfelt industry beads. So that's going to be what I'm going to do for now for this. Okay, and here is just the final look of what I did here. So what I did was I kept the hygrometer up here because the one in the Cigar Oasis is repetitive. As you can see, that one's now missing. That's the one that the little round one that was there I took and put in the coolidor. But as you can see, that's what I've done. There's, like I said, the top drawer I was going to put some more heartfelt beads just to keep the humidity up. But you can see the back of every drawer is open and clean and organized. Every single drawer is like that. So with any luck, I've reduced, I think I estimated now I probably have about 300 cigars in here. For a 400 capacity, I think that seems fair enough. And then I've got some of the loose stuff down there. Anyway, we'll let this sit, and it's going to take a little time to acclimate, but let's see if this helps. Obviously, I'll do a follow-up video next week, and we will see what ended up happening here. Okay, I'm back downstairs after all that rearranging and splitting off into the humidor and the cooler door. So I guess we'll have to see what happens. I did want to, again, thank everyone for reaching out and making this a collaborative effort, which is, again, my goal, to get ideas, go back and forth, and share ideas. And I think I'm feeling kind of like I missed the forest through the trees on this one, that it could really be as simple as there's too many cigars in that humidor. And so I've been kind of chasing my tail, I think. I did get a lot of comments about not using the Oasis Excel in the humidor, but to use the Plus because it puts out more. I don't know, to be honest with you, which one's right. The only reason I told you what I told you is because I got that straight from the sales manager of Cigar Oasis to not use the Plus. But if that's working for you, you know, again, there's no rules in this. We're all just trying to get this figured out and make it work. So anyway, I will do another update in a week to let you know what this change has produced. And with any luck, it's going to help, and we'll all be a little wiser for it. Anyway, again, subscribe, like, make any comments. I really appreciate all that. Eric at SoCal Cigars, and I will talk to you again next video.